Hello and welcome to Noggin Comics. It has been a very crazy 2 months. We were originally going to be doing a lot of comic hauls. We're still planning on doing them. Uh, so that's your way of subscribing to the channel to see what the comic hauls we have planned. Now, this comic haul is from a crazy little comic book show that happened in April. I have a pre-show haul. We end up stopping off at the comic shop before the haul, and then we have the comic show haul. It's not that big, but it's got some key comics and it's got some slabs. All right, so the very first book that we're going to talk about, we got at Issues Needed, and I believe these 5. Yes, these 5 books are from Issues Needed, and shout out to Bob Stewart, who is a friend of the channel, a friend of ours, known for quite some time. He actually got me this comic, and this is The Unexpected 216 from November of 1981, and it's about samurais and horror and facing Joe Kubert on the cover, which is always a good sign. But a samurai and horror, and Bob knew exactly that was up our alley, and we had to get that. And he was like, "Here it is. It's $3, but he knows I'm trying to, get all these 80s and 70s and 60s horror comics." But then I added on to it. I got the Unexpected 201 from August of 1980. It's a James Johns and Dick Giadollar cover. And then we got The House of Mystery, 274 from November of 1979. Hell Park. This kind of reminds me of, what's that book called? Dark Ride, that just recently came out a couple years ago last year. So I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to read this and compare it to Dark Ride. And then recently I've been finding a lot of Charlton comics that I've been enjoying, getting into that horror run that they did. And Ghostly Haunts, I keep finding myself finding for fairly cheap. This is Ghostly Haunts 35 from 1973. And then Ghostly Haunts 38 from 1974. And I believe this has got some Steve Ditko work in it. So that was the pre-comic show haul that we did. Now, there wasn't many books we picked up because your boy was spending too much money on getting slabs. And yeah, we got TMT back there. We have Dazzler up there. But we really don't collect slabs that much. So either it's got to be that good price or something that we really want. And it was a mixture of both. But before we get to those slabs, let's run through some of the books that we got beyond that. Now you're gonna see the price of this book. It's a big post-it note that I forgot to take off, but that's okay. But if you've been watching the channel, you do know that we love horror. Obviously, just going through those books that we got from the pre-show. So there was this book called Halftone Horrors that talks about horror movies that got translated or adapted into comic books. And one of those is A Nightmare on Elm Street. And this is Nightmare on Elm Street, You Never Sleep Again, from 2006, written by Chuck Dixon. Now, as you see, $25. Now, yes, I paid for a price on that. But I also got a free comic and a discount on an additional book from this guy. This was the free comic I got. I got it because it's covered by Tom Senton. This is an awesome cover. It's Creepy Things 4 from 1976. This cover is insane, and when I picked up this and the next book I'm showing you, the next book was the priciest of this vendor. And I'm trying to remember who the vendor is. I want to say I'm drawing a blank on the vendor, actually. He's been on a few of our shows for the Comic Exchange, but he's always got amazing horror books. And this is kind of horror, but more of the fact it's Dave Stevens. We have zero, zilch, nada of Dave Stevens, but now we can start collecting his stuff. I know it's hard to find. He was hot there for a moment. This is from 1965, and this is three-dimensional Seduction of the Innocents. I know once I get that sticky note off, I'm gonna post this on our Instagram page. If not following us on Instagram, that's where we're mostly active. Noggin Comics. But yeah, Dave Stevens' artwork is amazing on this. 2, it is the Seduction of the Innocents and the Halloween cover, and just everything that added up to that perfect I have to buy it. And sure enough, he gave me these 3 books for $50. Hell of a deal, basically, I think. No, 60 bucks. So basically 40 and 20 on Nightmare on Elm Street and Seduction of the Innocent, and Creepy Things for free. This one is from Granite City. Our good friend at Granite City went to Chicago with him 2 years ago. Last year. Not last Sheet, but Sheet before that we went with him. And this is Ghost number 5. This cover is absolutely amazing. Nick Cardy did the cover of this. As well as we got some Tomb of Dracula, and this one I had to get. Brother Voodoo, in my opinion, is a very underrated character, and if any executive or any game designer of NetEasy's watching this, you should add Brother Voodoo to the game of Marvel Rivals. But this is Tomb of Dracula 35, written by Marv Wolfman, Gene Colan, and we just need more Brother Voodoo. So yeah, this is definitely a great cover too. I'm looking at this is actually in really good shape. And then another book we got from Granite City is The Monster of Frankenstein number 3. And this is a Mike Plug cover. And then the final book that we got from Granite City, our friend John Palm, who has done some of our video stuff for Noggin, he found this book and basically told me if I don't get it, he will. So I kind of snatched it up. And this is Frankenstein number 1 from 1964. It is not in great condition, but I really don't care. I might put this just up on the wall. We have a horror wall in our bedroom, and this might be going on it soon. And the next 2 books, I mentioned Marvel Rivals has been an addiction recently. When you're trying to find distractions, video games tend to be the best way of doing it, next to reading comics. But these 2 books are related to Marvel Rivals. And it's Fantastic Four 280 and 281, the first appearance of Malice, and the cover appearance of Malice. For those not in the known, Malice is Sue Storm, Invisible Woman. It's her evil alter ego. It's a skin in Marvel Rivals. And basically they created that just to make sure guys have something to look at, it felt like, in that game. But these next 2 books I'm going to show you, these are the 2 slabs that we got. Both of them are... One's the first appearance of a character that... Basically, this book is unknown, I feel like. No one talks about this book, but it's the first appearance of Jason Voorhees in comics. This is Satan 6, number 4. Spent $50 on it, but it's a 9/4. And next to our Purple Rain homage to Batgirl, this is one of the highest rated books. So this was the first appearance of Jason Voorhees in comics. And the funniest thing is, like, I believe I have some of these back issues, and I just didn't know that he appeared in this until I read Half-Tone Horrors, and then the comic vendor seriously had this sitting just staring at me, and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta get it. And the first book that we showed was A Nightmare on Elm Street and Never Sleep Again. So it's only fitting that the next slab that we get is from September of 1991, and it's from Innovation, and that's Nightmare on Elm Street #1. It's a 9.6 too. This is a beautiful cover, honestly. Miles Teves did the cover for this, and the back of it's cool too. I mean, Freddy Krueger is one of those characters that, as a kid, terrified the absolute hell out of me. As an adult, now is the most humorous horror icon I find, next to Chucky, basically. But let me know what you think of this haul. Let me know if there's any horror icons that I should look at. The other day we found Demonic Toys and we found Lost Boys. But what else can we find? Let me know in the comment section. But until then, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you at the comic shop.